Okay, our next story comes from the AITA subreddit and is titled, Will I be the astronaut if I put a lien against my parents' house and sued them for my college tuition? Huh? I, 17 female, am graduating high school next month and I'm set to attend my first choice college with a partial scholarship in the fall. It's an in-state school about an hour away, and because of my dual enrollment credits, I should only be 5 semesters from finishing my bachelor's degree and then going for the master's degree I need for the career I want. 5 years ago, my mom's mom, died, leaving behind a college fund for me and my siblings, Kyle, male 25, and Kelsey, female 22. Mom's aunt Teresa was supposed to oversee it, but she died in 2020, and somehow my parents wound up in charge. I don't know all of the details because I was 12 when Mama died and 14 when Aunt Teresa died. I'm not even sure exactly how it was structured or how much there was, except that it was supposed to be enough to cover a significant amount of our expenses, if not everything. Kelsey is a fine arts major, and her first year of college was derailed by lockdowns, and she wound up losing an entire year. She was supposed to go back for her final year next fall, just as I am starting college, but last night at our grandpa's birthday dinner, Dad's dad, she announced that she had been invited to participate in a junior artist in residency study program and was deferring her last year of college. Everyone congratulated her. My grandparents asked about what sort of stipend she was getting. She said there wasn't one, but Mama's money would cover her living expenses. My uncle said that between me starting college and them covering that, the fund would be empty soon. And would her share be enough to pay for her final year after? That's when my dad said that since I had scholarships and my sister needed it more, I wouldn't be getting any of the money Mama left for us. Everyone was shocked and started asking questions, but my parents insisted that it was important to support my sister's artistic goals the way we never were, and that I'd be fine. The way we never were. When my grandparents argued with them, Mom said I could take out loans for what my scholarship didn't cover and live at home to save money. I was in tears, and my sister was upset that people weren't happier for her. When my uncle asked if there was even going to be money left for my sister to go back and graduate, my parents said that they would take out a loan against the house to cover it. Oh, really? Tell me you're the favorite without telling me you're the favorite. Like right in front of everybody. Okay. For this child, we will do everything. We will sell our souls. For this child, she can take care of herself. No imbalance there whatsoever, right? None. Everyone got in a huge argument, and my parents and sister left. My grandparents, uncle, and aunt got to talking, and my uncle, who's a lawyer, said he's going to look into it and that we may have to sue them for my share of the college money because he believes they mismanaged it. My grandparents are worried about them mortgaging the house and losing it and suggested we take out a lien against the house for my tuition money so they can't use it to get a loan to pay for my sister's expenses. Will I be the astronaut if I sued my parents for my college tuition and put a lien against their house like my grandparents suggested? There is an update here. Sorry, microphone. When this story started, I'm like a 17-year-old talking about taking out a lien on their parents' house to sue them for college money. Like, get real. But now there's so much more context around it, and now one of the family members being an attorney who says they screwed up and this might be the legal path makes way more sense. Also, why are these parents just big pieces of shit? I understand they were like the third choice for who would be managing this money pile, but they clearly have favorites and aren't shy about broadcasting it. How did they get in charge of a pile of money? They should have been nowhere on the list. Should have been put in a trust or something. Okay, update here. Update. These did on other stuff. ASCON 1, the parents, that's where they're heading. I want to see how this shakes out, but right now, I agree. They're in ASCON 1 territory here. Update, thank you all for the advice. I know you can't just put a lien against the house, but my uncle and grandparents are talking about suing for the money, and since my parents won't have it, putting a lien against the house. Okay, so that would be the result of their case, them winning their case, basically. They would get a lien against the house. They want to move quick before my parents can do any other stupid crap, as my grandpa put it. We all know if my parents spent the money, there's no way they will be able to pay it back. Neither will my sister, and grandma basically told me, but at least they won't be able to lose the house. Right, because the next step they're seeing them do is them mortgaging the house to pay for the other daughter, the one they apparently give a shit about, and then somehow losing that. And then there are no assets at all. My parents inheriting the house from Mama was the only way they could afford a home, and they have never been good with money. So growing up, my grandparents covered a lot of their bills so we could have groceries, and that's probably why Mama left Aunt Teresa in charge of it. They are worried what will happen to my parents if they do take out a loan on the house because none of us believe they would be able to pay it back. So the house ain't even their house. Yes, they inherited it, but it was Mama's house. Now this all makes a lot more sense. And yeah, now the family has a stake and they may not have any actual ownership of it, but now they have a reason to want to protect that home, not just because of the financial value of it, because of it is part of the family. My uncle is going to talk to his law partner about taking the case, but most importantly, I was able to call Kyle, and since he was an adult when Mama died, he actually has a copy of the will somewhere that he says he'll find and send to us. But he knew how much was in the account and where it came from. According to Kyle, there was a $300,000 life insurance policy from when Pop, my maternal grandfather, died, and Mama saved it for us to use for college. He's not sure how it was structured exactly, except he is pissed because his college didn't cost very much, and what wasn't used was supposed to be distributed when we all graduated or turned 25, whichever happened first. So they stole not only from me, but from him too. I knew my sister's school was expensive, it's a private college, but I guess I assumed she was using loans or a scholarship or something. I never really thought about how they were affording her college. I just focused on doing well and getting as many dual enrollment credits as my school would allow so I wouldn't have to spend as much time or money when I graduated and went to college. When he told me, I was in tears because $100K would more than cover my bachelor's degree and probably my master's too. What I want to do, meteorology, really requires a master's or even a doctorate if you want to do any of the really interesting stuff. My parents were mad at me when I went home last night, like I had caused the fight. So I just went to bed and went to work this morning, and I'm just sort of drained, or like I got hit by a truck. My best friend says I didn't do anything wrong and just sort of got sucked into everyone else's drama and scheming, which seems pretty accurate. Even more stupid is that my grandparents told me that because they knew I had a decent amount from Mama, they only saved for my aunt's kids' college funds, so they feel bad too. And Grandpa's birthday dinner got ruined. I got him some cheesecake from my work, and I'm going to take it over to him when they get back from church tonight. I forgot it was Grandpa's birthday. Wow. OP's parents just dropped trout and took a big old shit on Pawpaw's birthday. Not Pawpaw, Grandpa. Different Grandpa. Oh my God. Either way, I got into my first choice college and am going to go, even if I have to sell blood or take out loans. So I've got that going for me, which is nice. I'm trying really hard not to let this affect me too much because I still have final exams coming up. And even though my grades are good, I don't want to let this screw up anything else since some of my scholarships are dependent on my grades. My brother suggested in the meanwhile that I can file paperwork for my FAFSA. I always had trouble with that word, FAFSA. To not have my parents' income counted, just on my own, so I might be able to qualify for more aid. So I'm going to talk to my guidance counselor tomorrow about that. That's a damn good idea. Top comment here. This sounds like they horribly mismanaged the money. A fund that was supposed to cover even 50% of 3 college tuitions should have had a healthy 6-figure amount. Not to mention, the fund was supposed to be used for tuition, not other programs. During the discovery, your uncle may find some disturbing truths, but secrets, especially money secrets, are always the worst. Whether you do or don't, your relationship with your parents and sister is likely irreparably damaged. NTA. My impression of this story is completely different than it was now than it was going into it. I went into this by the title and hearing, 17-year-old kid thinking, wow, this is some entitlement. This is going to be rough. It is not that case at all. This is parents completely mismanaging what was left for the kids and creating a huge imbalance. They probably shouldn't be handling this fund in the first place. And that, if there is a will, if there is some kind of legal document that talks about how these funds are supposed to be appropriated, they got themselves in some big shit. And yes, then you can put a lien on the house. If the judge allows that, you can sue for it. And a lien is probably the only option you have because there are no other assets. You're not the asshole for this. And it seems like this is not you feeling entitled to this. This is you just wanting to make sure that you get at least your fair share of what was specifically left behind for you. This is not you asking for anything unreasonable. This is you being perfectly reasonable. I love the fact that there are other family members here who are corralling around you and who are taking action on your behalf because it doesn't just affect you. It affects everybody. This is going to have a big ripple effect. I would let the family members run point on this and run lead. You're 17. Focus on you. Just one way or another, it's gonna be handled. Focus on you, focus on your grades, focus on your happiness right now. And just know that this is going to cause a shitstorm that is probably going to harm your relationship with your family, with your parents and your sister even further, and just be ready for it. Just be ready for it. That's it.